What drives a man to become the world's first billionaire? Is it ambition, innovation, or sheer ruthlessness? How did John D. Rockefeller rise from humble beginnings to control 90% of the American oil industry, and at what cost? Was Rockefeller a visionary who revolutionized the oil industry, or a monopolist who crushed his competition with cutthroat tactics? What were the consequences of his empire's fall, and how did his philanthropy shape the modern world? Who was John D. Rockefeller really? A hero, a villain, or something in between? John Davison Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, to William Avery Rockefeller and Eliza Davison Rockefeller. His father was a traveling salesman who often engaged in questionable practices, earning the nickname Devil Bill. Despite his father's dubious reputation, John was profoundly influenced by his industrious and devoutly religious mother. The family moved several times during John's childhood, finally settling in Cleveland, Ohio in 1853. John was a diligent student and developed a strong work ethic early in life. At the age of 16, he took his first job as an assistant bookkeeper. His meticulous nature and attention to detail became apparent as he quickly learned the ropes of business and finance. Entry into the oil industry. In the early 1860s, the oil industry was in its infancy, centered around Pennsylvania's oil fields. Rockefeller saw the potential of this burgeoning industry and, in 1863, he invested in a Cleveland refinery with business partner Maurice B. Clark. By 1865, Rockefeller bought out Clark's interest and formed Rockefeller and Andrews with Samuel Andrews, an experienced chemist. This marked the beginning of what would become a vast oil empire. In 1870, Rockefeller, along with his brother William, Henry Flagler, Samuel Andrews, Stephen V. Harkness, and Oliver Burr Jennings, founded the Standard Oil Company. The rise of Standard Oil. By the mid-1870s, Standard Oil had become the largest oil refinery in the world. Rockefeller's relentless pursuit of efficiency and cost-cutting led to innovations such as the use of pipelines for transporting oil, which reduced dependency on railroads. He also negotiated favorable rates with railroads, which further squeezed out competitors. Rockefeller's business practices were often ruthless. He used tactics such as predatory pricing and secret rebates to undercut competitors and drive them out of business. These methods, while controversial, were effective. By the 1880s, Standard Oil controlled approximately 90% of the U.S. oil refining industry. Legal challenges and breakup. Standard Oil's dominance and Rockefeller's aggressive tactics eventually attracted scrutiny from the government and the public. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was partly a response to the monopolistic practices of Standard Oil and other large trusts. In 1906, the U.S. government sued Standard Oil under this act. In 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that Standard Oil must be dismantled. The company was broken up into 34 independent entities, many of which became powerful companies in their own right, such as ExxonMobil and Chevron. Despite the breakup, Rockefeller's holdings in these companies ensured that his wealth continued to grow. Rockefeller retired from active business in 1897, but continued to influence the industry through his investments. He turned much of his attention to philanthropy, inspired by his deep Baptist faith and the principles of stewardship and charity. He established several major philanthropic institutions that have had a lasting impact on education, science, and medicine. In 1901, he founded the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now Rockefeller University, which has been associated with numerous Nobel Prize winners. In 1902, he established the General Education Board, which significantly contributed to the improvement of education in the United States, particularly in the South. In 1913, Rockefeller created the Rockefeller Foundation, which aimed to promote the well-being of humanity throughout the world. The foundation has funded various projects, including public health initiatives, medical training, and cultural institutions. Rockefeller also donated significant sums to the University of Chicago, helping to transform it into a world-class institution. John D. Rockefeller married Laura Celestia Seti Spellman in 1864. The couple had 5 children: Elizabeth, Alice, who died in infancy, Alta, Edith, and John D. Rockefeller Jr. The family maintained a relatively private life, often retreating to their estate in Pocantico Hills, New York. Rockefeller was known for his frugality, discipline, and devout religious practices. He kept detailed records of his finances and believed in living a modest life despite his immense wealth. John D. Rockefeller died on May 23, 1937, at the age of 97. His life and work left an indelible mark on American industry and philanthropy. The institutions he established continue to play vital roles in various fields, embodying his belief in the power of education, research, and public service.